in best serving your church, a marketing agency not only needs to have a church focus, but they need to be result focused and mission oriented. More specifically, they need to be your mission oriented. Let's break that down. Number one, they need to be results oriented. Okay. Imagine you go to the doctor and you say, hey doc, my knee hurts. And the doc says, okay, here, take these pills. You know what pills you're taking? Are they for inflammation? Are they for pain? Are they for blood thinning? He didn't even look at your knee. He just gave you a bottle of pills and said, take this. I'd be a little concerned. And so the same thing when you go to someone's for sale website and say, hey, we need a website. And they say, great, here's a great one for you. Here's one that we did for someone else and it worked really well. Well, they never really figured out, who is your church? Who's it for? Who are you best equipped to serve? What kind of website do you need? What do you need a website to do for your church? What is the mission of your church? Pastor, anything you do, including your website, needs to be aligned with the mission of your church. That's why I put in the thumbnail here, avoid these kinds of agencies at all costs. That includes really small costs. I don't care if your website is $20 a month. If it doesn't align with your church mission, it is a bad investment and bad stewardship. You need someone or an agency that is results oriented, and they must be your results oriented. Pastor, what do you want to see? More baptisms? How is the website going to help? Do you want to see more people in your church on Sundays? How are the Facebook ads going to help? Do you want to see more people making a commitment to follow Jesus Christ? How does the logo help? Everything we do needs to align with your goals. That's why your website's not working. It's not because the design is outdated, although that's a part. The main reason it doesn't work is because it doesn't align with your mission. If you are a church that is looking to make disciples who make disciples, how does the website play in that? It gets them to church. Does the church service play a role in that? And if so, if you say your church is more than a building, why is your website focused on getting people to a building? And the only focus of that. You understand? So there needs to be a focus on the results. If you are looking to make disciples who make disciples, your website should have discipleship training in it. If you're looking to bring a new kind of person to your church, your logo design and your brand identity needs to speak to that kind of person. If you're looking to get more relationships and more people in a small group, your Facebook ads should be relationship oriented to start and nurture conversations, not just get people to a building. It makes no sense to me that churches want to grow their small groups and they think the first step is to get more people to church. That's not the case. So the agency or person you need to work with needs to understand what your goals are, and they need to understand your mission. And also, it'd be good for them to know your vision, because their website needs to play a part of that. Not only how does it help your mission and vision now, but what will it look like when your mission and vision are closer to being accomplished? Which I understand your mission and vision are never really quite there. Vision is just a static image of a dynamic flux. But at the same time, your website needs to grow with your church. And that's why so many websites, they don't grow with the church, and so it looks outdated when really it's not the design that's outdated, it's the usage of it. It's the way it presents your church. And then not only that, they need to be your mission focused. I think I kind of already, I'm like getting ahead of my notes here. They need to be your mission focused, okay? My mission as an agency runner is to hire the right people and to get results for my clients. But also above that, I need to help this church heal 1,000 people next year. I need to help this church send 30 people next year. I need to help this church build a launch team of 35 people. I need to help this pastor reach 10,000 people in his community. I know the mission of every church, even if it's only a 5-year goal. We understand the mission. It always goes back to that. In fact, when I have my web designers and even the branding guys, before they open up a new project, they have to go over the story of the church, the mission of the church, the vision, the goals of the church, and everything that our team does must come back to that mission. So if someone says, hey, come to our church, and I say, The primary purpose of this website is to introduce people to Jesus. It is a church website, but the primary purpose, Pastor said, he doesn't care if people forget about the church. He does care if they forget about Jesus. So the primary purpose of that church website that we are building right now is Jesus. And it really is an evangelism tool more than it is a church website. But we both believe, and it's very non-traditional, that if he can get people to trust in Jesus, he wants to see the kingdom grow more than his church. That's what he wants for a website. That's what we're going to do. We're not doing plan a visit. We're not doing look at all our great ministries. We're saying, look at Jesus, and here's what he did for you. And when you want to take that next step, or when you have questions, shoot us a question. We got web chat, live chat on the site. And then when people come in, they know exactly where they are in that discipleship flow. That's pretty cool. But other agencies aren't going to do that. They're going to look at, okay, you want a website? Here's a really great one over here that's really pretty. You want that one? Here, this one's got this fancy bell and whistle. And in 2 to 3 years, you're going to realize that pretty website with all the bells and whistles is not doing anything for your church. And you're going to be making more phone calls. Your website should last as long as your pastor. Okay? Unless technology changes, your church's message should be longer lasting than your pastorship. Your church website should be longer lasting than your pastorship. So if you're changing pastors every 7 years, you should not be changing your website every 3 years. And we can talk about how sad that could be for pastors to be changing churches every 7 years. That's a different discussion. This is a marketing show. Hello. But I have enough of these conversations with my clients. Your website needs to be mission focused. Your Facebook ads needs to be mission focused. And then you need to have some results. They need to know what kind of results you want. You don't want a Facebook ad. You want 50 people to come to your Christmas service. You don't want a Google ad. You want 10,000 people to see an article that you wrote about Jesus. You don't want a new logo. You want people to remember the church. So whenever you hire an agency or a freelancer or whoever you outsource to, they need to understand what your goals are. They need to have a plan to meet those goals. And then they need to understand your mission, and everything that they do for you needs to bleed out of that mission.